Code with another video on how to improve in esports. This is not a showcase of my personal skill, but rather of how our mind and body influence each other and, in turn, performance. First, I'll jump into how the mind affects the body. Contrary to popular belief, the body and mind rely on one another directly in their function. For instance, the central nervous system is the bridge between the brain and spinal cord, and it controls voluntary movement. Thought occurs in the cerebral cortex and has a direct link to the muscles, which goes to show that if the mind is overthinking situations, the muscles could experience activation that is detrimental to fluid movement. With an increase in psychological arousal, we see an increase in the number of motor units recruited, resulting in greater force output in the muscles. Another way the mind and body interact is through metabolism. Outflow has an effect on our organs and vascular system, which may increase metabolism in working muscles. A final way that the mind and body influence one another is through the hormonal system. Various hormones can be released depending on the mind's state. Hormones make changes in bodily processes. I believe that our minds, and more importantly, our cognitive state, can have an effect on the minds and performance of others through expression of that state. I'll touch on this in a minute. This can probably be best explained by a person's impact on the motivation of their teammates. So now that I've explained how the mind affects the body, I'm going to explain how that affects our performance. A heightened state of cognitive function and arousal has been shown to decrease skill in fine motor patterns, i.e. gaming. Performance in game is largely affected by an individual's ability to perform fine motor skills in a highly controlled and quick manner. A competitor's shot must be balanced well with their reaction time in order to achieve the desired outcome of eliminating the enemy before being eliminated. This can be related to the hype factor that so many competitive gamers refer to. Getting everybody in the booth hyped up has been said to be a huge contribution to performance in game. This is true to an extent, but too much arousal or hype can have a negative impact on the team's performance. I've mentioned the inverted U theory a few times in my videos. This theory is largely important to understanding how arousal and anxiety can negatively influence a gamer's ability in competition. There are other theories also available for consideration in terms of arousal and anxiety, but this is the one that I have seen cited most often in text. In terms of motivation, it is important to consider personality types, as techniques to motivate one individual may not work to motivate another. An inability to effectively motivate a teammate or teammates can be the difference between winning and losing. Now that I've explained how the mind affects the body and performance, I'm going to explain to you guys how to reach the ideal performance state. The ideal performance state is that feeling you get in competition where you do not fear failure. Nobody can stop you. You are flawlessly executing every action you take. You are completely honed in on the task at hand. The game feels easy and you feel in control of the game. When you see somebody ace a round, they are experiencing a combination of the ideal performance state, which I can describe more appropriately probably as flow and great timing. When a gamer goes on a streak and is just tearing up the competition with ease, they are more than likely in this ideal performance state. So as competitive gamers, we've all probably felt this flow, but we're not always feeling it. The question remains, how can I get into this ideal performance state regularly? First of all, the gamer just has to let things happen. There has to be an unconditional trust in their own abilities and training, and in that of their teammates, in order to set the stage for this phenomenon. Most people will say they don't even understand or know how or why they were performing as well as they were. They will simply say, I just did it. The key is to let the game become automatic. Practicing as much as possible allows the gamer to adapt to an array of situations where they are called upon to perform an action very specific to the current demands. This game knowledge and focus can only be achieved by being prepared for everything thrown one's way. Efficiency is what we look for in terms of reaching this state. The athlete or gamer must be completely efficient in every aspect of their game. They must know exactly what to do in any situation without having to stop to think. Preparation is what determines the difference between the amateurs and the pros. Most people have the raw skill to compete at the highest level, but not the mental fortitude to do so. As a gamer, we cannot just focus on our shots or our movement in game. We must also focus on our mental state and form it into the best mindset for the present situation. Thank you all for watching. If you have any questions regarding the content of this video or would like additional references on psychology of sport or esports, please do not hesitate to message me or leave a comment. I hope you guys have learned something about the mind and its impact on the body in terms of performance, and that these tips allow you to improve your mindset in game in some way.